Is a video of an actual double-blind test that took place at WDDO's conference. Now, the person that you see in the doorway is a young lady who was serving as what we refer to as a proctor. And what she does is simply observe the team's effort. She has no idea where the hides are or even if any hides are present in this house. The person who is videoing the film, as videoing the test as well, has no idea. Neither person was allowed to be present when the hides were placed, if any were placed. Now, as we go through, you notice that the dog's focus is not on the handler. That's an important aspect to a well-trained dog that's simply using its sense of smell to try to perform a task. This dog doesn't look to its handler. The dog's entire focus is on sniffing. The handler is allowing the dog to dictate the direction of travel, the amount of time that's spent at each location. Now, the handler is offering a minimal amount of direction to make sure he gets a thorough search done, as in when he was pointing at the chairs, making sure that some odor isn't attached to the bottom of a chair or up under a table. Now, the dog moves into the dining room area. Once the handler gets his dog focused on task, he then basically stays out of the way, for lack of a better phrase. Observes the dog, looks for any kind of small or significant changes in body language, respiratory rates, shifts in focus, and those kind of things that allow him to pick up on when the dog might be exposed to a target odor that will trigger a great deal more interest in a specific area. Now, he's stopping here, allowing the dog to do a thorough sniff of that specific chair because he noticed that the dog hesitated and acted like he had a little bit higher level of interest. Of course, once the dog moves, the handler moves with the dog. Sending them into closets is important, searching up, such as the dog's doing now, raising up to check upper areas, shelves, and those kind of things. Proctor, of course, is still accompanying and observing everything they do. Another thing that the proctor does is to ensure that we don't allow handlers to move things, look under things, look into things. They have to solely rely on their dog's sense of smell. They can't look for a visual cue as to where the hide might be located. And the proctor is there to serve as a witness that they don't do that. Now, you note that the dog's nose, the direction of travel that the dog chooses, is dictated by his nose. Just as a handler is following the dog's following his nose. And that's exactly the kind of search methods that we like to see. The dog takes good deep breaths, sniffs cracks in the couches, cording along the stuffed pillows and those kind of things. So that's where bed bugs would typically tend to secrete themselves. When a dog wants to come back and research an area, the handler needs to allow him to do that. Dogs have a pretty good memory. If they get a whiff of something that is consistent with the odor of a bed bug, they're going to want to go back and check it out because they don't want to miss getting their reward, of course. So this dog is checking this couch out pretty thoroughly. Notice he's inserting his nose between the pillows, actually physically sticking his nose down into the cracks, under the pillows, under the cushions. He wants to make absolutely sure he doesn't miss anything. And yet, still hasn't looked at his handler to make a decision as whether or not this is an area I need to stop, an area where I need to alert. Dog wants to go back to the couch, and of course the handler allows him to do that. We're going to let this dog make his selection. And this dog clearly understands that he is tasked with the responsibility of deciding where to alert. Handler isn't going to help him. It doesn't know how to help him. And the dog is not dependent on the handler for any kind of assistance in choosing a point where to alert. Now he's about to clear this room. Going back to the couch one more time, but as you can see, he's starting to pay less and less attention to articles and pieces of furniture that's in the room. So the handler, in watching him, the handler's starting to see that this room is probably getting close to being cleared. Going behind things, that's of course important. Going between things, under things. Now he moves into the next room, and the handler readily goes with him. He's going to move into a small room with a wooden floor. The dog's simply continuing his search. His mouth is closed. He's effectively sucking in air, taking in data, and now this is going to be an area where he finds the odor and alerts. You notice he left, he went back, handler's still not interfering. He's now hit the odor, and now he's performing what we call passive alert. He's sitting by that stack of folding chairs, and there is a vial of bed bugs contained just within that stack of chairs on the left. That was a good, well-conducted search. Now, we also like to see dogs search up high. Raise up on their hind legs and search areas as this dog's doing. And he's about to finish clearing the kitchen, and we're going to leave. So good job. That is representative of the right way to handle a dog on a double-blind certification test.